I don't like sand. It's rough, it's coarse, it's irritating, and it gets everywhere. Hello, everyone! And today I'm taking a look at Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones. Now, you're not going to believe this, guys, but when I was taking it out of the box over there, it accidentally fell in the trash can. So, yeah, well, to be fair, everyone almost considers the movie trash, so, yeah. So, what's the plot of Attack of the Clones? Well, the movie takes place 10 years after the events of The Phantom Menace, where Anakin has become a Jedi Knight, and with Obi-Wan as his master, and basically what's going on is that Padme has had an assassination attempt on her by a bounty hunter named Jango Fett, so Anakin's basically being like a guard for her, and Obi-Wan's all like, okay, I'm going to be the one who's going to try and find the assassin who's trying to kill you, Padme. And that's mostly the plot of the film, and yeah. Now, in terms of stuff I like, since I want to get the stuff I like out of this movie out of the way, first off, of Ewan McGregor. He is a lot better in this movie since he feels like the main character a lot of times. I know Anakin's the main character, but it feels like the most interesting stuff in this movie is with Obi-Wan, in my opinion, like this whole clone army stuff that happens in the film. And yeah, he's just really good in my opinion. As Obi-Wan, he has like this lot of funny moments when he goes up to like this bar and the guy says, "You want to buy some death sticks? You don't want to sell them death sticks." And it's a really funny scene. Even people who hate the movie like it. And yeah. And yeah, a lot of the stuff with Obi-Wan is really cool in my opinion, and also the action is really good, especially the battle on Geonosis where we see all these Jedi Knights charging into battle. It's so cool. Though imagine what would happen if we had the other side, instead of being droids, we had it be like all these like Sith lords, like something like out of Knights of the Old Republic. But I can't complain much. It's still an awesome scene. And yeah, a lot of the action's pretty cool in the movie. I even like some of those smaller scenes in my opinion, like when Anakin goes to visit Tatooine. I really like the stuff on Tatooine in my opinion, especially the moment where he finds Shmi's body in the Tusken Raiders camp, and it's a really good scene in my opinion. Probably the best scene in the movie with Hayden Christensen, where you just feel his pain of seeing his mom almost about to die after 10 years of being apart from her. And it's a really good scene, and you see his face being like, oh yeah, he's gonna turn to the dark side, and he like kills all these Tusken Raiders, and you even hear Qui-Gon say, Anakin, don't! And it's pretty cool in my opinion. I really like that moment. And that was a pretty awesome scene in my opinion. And also, Watto's pretty funny in the movie. But yeah, I think I forgot to talk about Watto in Phantom Menace, but Watto was funny in the Phantom Menace, and he is here too. Where he's all like, wait, little Annie, since you're a Jedi, maybe you can take care of some deadbeats who owe me a lot of money. And yeah. And I also like the part where Obi-Wan faces Jango Fett. I thought that was pretty cool. And the stuff with Psycho Diaz was interesting. And yeah, that's where most of my positives come with this movie. It's not very good, all things considered. Let's talk about the bad stuff. Now, I get where they're trying to go with the romance thing. It's supposed to be like Anakin has to prove his love to Padme. But there's a lot of moments in the film where you just feel like, and I get that Anakin was never taught to fall in love, seeing how he was. Since being a Jedi Knight basically means you can't fall in love with people, and you can't have things you love really much. Even though in the film, Obi-Wan's all like, protect this lightsaber with your life. So you can't have attachments with other people, but you can have attachments to your lightsaber. Please don't take that out of context. I swear, people, do not take that out of context. And yeah, it's just really confusing in my opinion. And also, there's two moments where I'm like, okay, Padme, you should call a restraining order on him. It's when they're like on this refugee place, and he says like this particular line that's all like, maybe because I'm in love with you, and it just sounds creepy in my opinion. And also, the infamous, sorry, my lady. Okay, I don't care what planet you're on. If I was Padme, I'd be like, can I call a restraining order on this guy, please? I don't care if he's supposed to protect me or anything. I want him to be as far away from me as possible, because he's probably going to take pictures of me when I'm sleeping at night. And yeah, also I forgot to mention this other thing I like in the movie. The lightsaber duel between Yoda and Count Dooku. I really like that scene, and I also like Christopher Lee as Count Dooku. He's really cool, and he feels intimidating. Though this is like a minor gripe I have with Count Dooku. Why is he called Count Dooku? Like, that confuses me. He is basically like the apprentice of Palpatine in this movie, but he's called Count Dooku. But whenever there's another apprentice of Palpatine, they're always called like Darth something, like Darth Maul or Darth Vader, but he's called Count Dooku. Shouldn't he be called Darth Dooku? But to be fair, Dooku technically means poop, so not very good for Christopher Lee. What? May Christopher Lee rest in peace. I'm just saying. And yeah, but still, it just confuses me a little bit. Though I'll fully admit, seeing like Yoda jumping around, being all like a cartoon is kind of hilarious in my opinion. Though this is another gripe I do have. They kind of missed out on a big chance to have a Samuel L. Jackson F-bomb. You know an F-bomb in a Samuel L. Jackson movie, his signature catchphrase. Think about it. And before you say, but what about the whole Disney thing? Well, this movie came out like 10 years before Disney took over, so they could have fitted that in where, you know, Mace Windu walks behind Dooku, puts his lightsaber up to Jango Fett and says, this party's over, but then he says, mother. Like, seriously, that part would have been cool in my opinion. And there was this really gangster scene with Windu where he like charges at Jango and like decapitates that sucker. He just like clean off like a baseball bat. And yeah, and also the fact this movie does kind of feels really boring in a lot of moments, and it just feels so slow and it just gets so boring after a while, except with the stuff with you know, and Obi-Wan, and of course the infamous I don't like sand. It's rough, it's coarse, it's irritating, and it gets everywhere. It's just so bad. Ugh. Blah. 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 Oh yeah, and also there's another confusing part I have with the romance in this movie. Padme's all like, but we can't fall in love. You're a Jedi, and I'm a member of the court, a member of the council. I know that she's meant like she's a member of the Senate, but she's wearing this like dress that is basically saying, Anakin, get into bed with me. Like, seriously, I'm not even joking. And also, the CGI for the clones looks kind of bad sometimes. Like, when they're on the Battle of Geonosis, it looks good, but other times it looks pretty terrible. And also, why is it called Attack of the Clones? Like, seriously, it would be like if Empire Strikes Back was called the Battle of Hoth, even though that's like one part in the movie. It's the same thing with Attack of the Clones. It's just one part of the film. And also, the lightsaber duel between Anakin and Dooku, worst lightsaber fight in the entire franchise in the movies. It's just bad. I get they're trying to go like a parallel to the Empire Strikes Back fight, but here, it's just kind of boring seeing how, like, all they do is just this. And also, Anakin, like, freezes in place and lets Dooku slice his arm off. Like, seriously, freeze frame it. I'm not even joking. But still. Overall, Attack of the Clones is very It has a lot of bad in it, but I do think the good and the bad are kind of equal in my opinion. So, yeah. Overall, I'm going to have to give Attack of the Clones a 5 out of 10. It's just mediocre, all things considered. I'd probably give it a 4 on rewatch, but as of right now, it gets a 5 out of 10. Now, join me tomorrow as we take a look at the actual really good prequel in the franchise. It's Revenge of the Sith. See you all later, and bye.